5v5.
I mean, you've got to be looking at the Astra for some sort of stall or anything like that, but buying a Ghost, there won't be that many stars on the map to work with. The players start to work their way through. There's positioning already. CGN, they get themselves 2 additional picks, 2 entry picks into the round. Galacticos try to go through lane, but they're being funneled there into exactly where CGN
develops. Like you say, that slow, calculated play style can be called boring at times to watch by some, and perhaps entertaining on this occasion. The classics are doing so much damage. Double from Lurzi and Masic. Glow finish.
Again, CGN love a contact-heavy play style. A lovely shot from Vince has it. But at the same time, you won't always get to choose where you take your fight. CGN, though, this round have done really well to pick theirs. Won a couple of them. iPod and Masic no longer available to Galacticos.
Taking that back.
Now there's a gap through the middle of the map.
Yeah. Destructors giving up the jerseys, has it?
Nice pick from Vince, second on the round. Vandal put to good use, and inside the Nebula, there's plenty more where that came from. CGN getting more and more well stocked as the round develops. You have to be considering Glow's advanced positioning in A main.
Yeah, 2 stars back on Vince, and there's also a Cosmic Divide to work with if they want to try and get this over the line. We could see a thrifty on thrifty round here, especially since that plant is going down.
Certainly looking more and more likely as time goes on, and it is a precious entity which Lurzi doesn't have too much of. A long re-clear to make his way back into a retake position. The divide even going up here as well. All 3 players caught by the dagger. Glove getting interested as the smoke dissipates. He tries to flash back through, and we'll have a second here with no real clue or cue as he catches Davi. The Galacticos players are boots on the ground, but it's Anguis that they've got to try and fake, being a comfort pick.
iPod tried to peek and get information. That's what Element's good at, punishing over peaks.
Yeah,
and look at this, has that spikes going down easy enough.
That was the rifle gone, but it has been recollected, and Davi's actually isolated on the other side of the door. He's by himself, flashed out, does get one. Would one have been enough if Vince not punched another through the door? I don't know.
That's the question. Both players are stuck in towards tree, but moving through on towards window, and you can see already the crossfires established by CGN. This should be like Fort Knox. There's no way you should be able to get in, and after Benny's pick onto Masic, yeah, straight away drop off and save the rifle from Lurzi.
Something else to mention about Benny as well. As I said before, he matches the KD of Glove, the new duelist in town. Glove instead the one that draws blood first. CGN with not just an equal response, but a superior one. Element making waves down short. So many more 50s being taken and won by the Dax squad. Another 4-on-2, which Galacticos have to try and get over the hump with. A group up towards the B site might be enough to offset Lurzi. Does try and take the duel. Timing misplaced.
I mean, already you look towards the other side of the map. On your mini-map has it, iPod wants none of this. Already thinking about saving the AWP, and that will be 4 in a row for CGN. Davi H is on the hunt, trying to do some damage to the economy, obviously, of Galacticos.
I find it interesting as well how people are so split in terms of who their favorites were to be winning this series. Davi push coming through from CGN though. Up close will be destructive. His Sheriff lands, but nothing more than just the one. Another 4 versus 2 for CGN. Their lay of the land. Element laying waste to another. Masic, the last player left, tracks. This one's going to have to wait for a moment longer, and it'll be without Anguist.
And Element, players peeking in, and unfortunately there's so much here to try and contest with. An operator flush to Cypher setup and the Keo ready to set up. I think this is the most we've seen Galacticos not swing and be patient, allowing CGN to contact into them. Blazewall was allowed Benny to find Glove though, and the AWP not quite hitting the mark the Odin will, and now everybody's getting found out. Lovely utility, Vince tries his best.
Here we go though, Glove peeked back into A main. It's Benny, the one penalised this time.
Down, mid.
Ipot the next. There are your openers.
It's ultimately to get back on board though. That's the other aspect to it. CGN are trying to, if you look towards the short side, find an avenue in that way. iPot's operator is watching it diligently though, supported by the Cypher trip.
Anguish the one again that has to make the cross. The trap is here and you walk close enough to it, you'll get caught.
10 seconds
Not enough time left. This is a save. Galacticos have done enough inside those opening moments, those following, to shut them down, to stop them to chase these duels. It's Benny, like I said before, that leads that charge. Masik and iPot, though, again, playing the timings that they want out of their own book. CGN not prepared for this re-aggression. Benny tries to make something of it and does get one back. It has put a bit of distance between the two teams. Closed up the gap, rather.
Yeah, the other thing is, though, there's only one player on this site, and it's Destructive. He can easily get out, but the other aspect, the Hunter's Fury's used up. Anguish can buy space here for CGN to win this round back. 40 seconds remaining, and Benny can send it forward. Spike not collected by CGN just yet.
That's the presence in market has been signposted by Dabby, who's sitting over the body, playing watch, unable to fully commit to the site. Anguish goes back for the spike. We're into the last 20 seconds, and still felt like CGN were waiting for the re-swing, for Galacticos to make their move before they can fully execute the game plan. Anguish does get one. The late hero of so many rounds, but there's a player back site, and it is Destructive. He's still here. A shutdown of the plant would be enough, and he'll just about get it.
But you do not want to be on the other end of a Turkish barrel. In fact, maybe you don't want to be on the other end of Anguish. He's the one who gets the entry here as Vince is doing the best at Cha-Cha slide. Slide to the left, slide to the right, and still it's CGN that find himself on top. One more hop to get this over the line. Masik tries to Odin to get some, trying to back off. A big swing from Masik will at least get Vince, but Anguish there to at least get the trade and keep numbers in their favour. CGN's favour is now Destructive being pushed back as well. Galacticos are just having a really tough time holding this site.
Yeah, CGN waited for the moment to strike there. It wasn't indecisiveness, they just needed those players up in main. Good trades, keeps them in a 4v3. In terms of the utility back through, you're looking at Glove maybe denying some space towards the backside with the fragment, but it's this recon over the top again, which is making them sweat bullets.
Benny's just trying to dislodge anybody from getting on stairs. That's the last curveball used up, and now this is where it explodes, the powder keg of a round, and you've left Anguish to do it. The man who clutches up every single time. Right
into the lion's den with his drone out. Lurzy's still not pulled the trigger. Wants to hold on for a bigger share of the spoils. It is just the one kill though, and we are reset in an equal position again.
It's the fact that the neural theft comes online which makes that kill so impactful. The spike will go down, but has a look towards where Element is. Nowhere to be seen so far, and Galacticos won't have an idea about that.
Another huge kill comes from Anguish Vandal. There's only Vince here though, and Element is out of time, out of space, and out of luck, you'd think. Dashing an updraft? Surely not. It's going to be running into the trap wire sooner rather than later. It's execute of this second half.
They're trying to get in through shot, and you can see players almost trying to hold on towards main. It's Element that does it, but the trade's massive, and Galacticos find themselves the site. Not only that has a player advantage, that's a big dart, shot dart, to get some damage on towards Glove, especially in the pistol round where there's not much to, in terms of health. Anguish is close by, but both players are deciding to play this solo. I mean, Davi's buying some focus from Galacticos towards heaven, and Anguish has the door open to walk into. Lurzy the first point of contact. Anguish Sheriff is good enough. Lurzy's low as well, and only up to him. Somehow CGN fight back from two players, when Galacticos, they seem to have everything in their court.
Really nicely done. Anguist with the shell coming through. It's not his site under siege this time. It's the veteran Element and Benny by his side that are tasked with dealing with that threat, an empty threat. I think it's fair to say all three players low. And to just draw a contrast very quickly between Anguist and Masic, the former duelist on the Galacticos side against someone who used to ply their trade in a similar role, Anguist on his come up. You're talking about the grand final MVP for Digital Athletics last year in Split 2.
30 seconds left.
And the grand final MVP of Epic LAN 38 in Kettering.
Concealment.
Their stories could not be more different,
One enemy remaining.
but the come up is certainly one which has been celebrated.
Set up and clear, but you can see that even Strong was talking about it, the anti that Galacticos like to do, and they've been spot on. Anguist caught, and he's actually been pinged up, tagged up, and taken out. Spike will go down, and the three remaining players still yet to come in.
Anguist trying to take the right fight on stairs, isolate a duel after he was flushed out. There's a flash to come back in here from Glove. Could be imperative, the timing, but it misses the mark and opens things back up for CGN.
Yeah, now they start to make their inroads in as the utility being traded on either side, but Globe, the first one to catch a CGN player on this retake. There is two curveballs for Benny to use, but unfortunately for him, the rest of his team have been taken up.
Utility committed, drone already heard in main. A telegraph for an off it would usually be, but Element light on his feet finds another angle, a fresh perspective to pull the trigger, and another kill goes his way. 3 for Element, a hat trick, and he's not done yet. Still plenty more for the bagsman to pick up, but Davy H may just have this one. An understatement. There we go. Vince does get one back though. Prospect in his own right, came from CGN's own academy system. Does manage to pick up just the one kill, 4v4. Still, CGN, so much strength in the arsenal, but space to be cleared towards short, and Anguist has opted for the long way round.
Vince is all alone. Needs to watch himself because there's two players here, somehow able to get one cleanly, but at least Masic's close by. Now in we go. All the utility being used up, trying to stop players coming in. That was one of the info dart. This is looking easier than it probably should be, as long as he's caught up. 2 players lost in that retake, Kazza. In fact, technically just 1. That will be 11 for CGN.
Mixed investment for Galacticos there.
Benny sent it forward and left Vince all alone. That run it back could be an easy pickup, and Vince has gone huge! That's 3! Anguist as well in mid has caught the player off guard. Destructive, looking left and right. Where did they come from?
Available.
That's already Lozzy's caught. And Vince
maybe not playing others.
Smokes. What is happening? It's almost like Turkey's been played at their own game. Now, I mean, they get the site, but there's a player advantage as for CGN.
CGN looking so strong from this situation. Masic will send the drone in for any kind of info, but it gets traded. A tag both ways, forces Destructive to bow his head to the lead holders. The 4-on-3, but up he goes. The disrespect shown. Destructive leveling the playing field. A demolition of 2 players puts us in an even standing yet again. Benny's curveball down below, breaching hell with flames of his own, but Glove holds the line. Element is forced to give this one up. Galacticos will live to see another day.
I mean, the thing is though, Hazard, even if Galacticos do find themselves at the end of a loss after this round, it's not a map in which they've found great success, but at least finding success here keeps them. I mean, Anguist and Davy H, though, they have played towards the opposite ends of the site. How does he do it, Davy? I mean, perhaps just a little bit lucky on this spray, but Anguist certainly not. Takes his time into
side of the coin is the wingman, which will be planting the spike for Galacticos. Anguist planting bullets in their foreheads instead. Makes for a quick 3v1.
Destructive though, don't even get a chance to build it up. his chances at this one. CGN straight away, blistering pace to start this one off. Wow, they've just burst out again, Hazard, is what we were speaking about on Ascent, about sight holds and the like. CGN have already done more than enough. A quick pivot towards A, try and get that spike down, get an extra ultimate orb. I mean, CGN well aware of iPod still trying to stick around. Global get very close to this thrash for the next round. In fact, 2 ultimate orbs would bring it online. Perhaps a kill might go his way, but no. To escape to triple, and there's no support, nothing at all. He'll be gone, and Solo Element trying to get one back in their favour. The spike will go down easily enough, and the smokes will stall out CGN's re-entry.
Really nice ult to catch Anguist off there. CGN try and flood back into the space, but the cavalry doesn't arrive in time, and now they're short-handed 3v5. It's given a chance for the ult to come back up. Just Bulldogs and a Sheriff, so it should be their best attempt, whatever that looks like. With how Galacticos are financially, every single kill you find is another brick in the wall towards building to that grand final. Nothing given away by Ipot though. The CT side is shut down and it's only Davi left. Hasn't quite spotted the barrel of Masic. And at their own game, they're contacting into his crosshair and Destructive's found the opener from it.
It's Anguist as well. It's not the player you expect to miss the shot. And Element tries to do the same thing again. That Prowler will easily re-clear all the way up towards Shovel, so Galacticos can sit happily as the players begin to swing them. More than good enough to match that of which CGN have in terms of ability to shoot back. Already calling quits and looking to end this round and save the rifles in which they have.
It was another 3v5 coming into the retake. That final kill makes it impossible though. Galacticos no weaker, CGN stronger. Still, no usage of Benny's ult able to be found, no situation which deemed it so. Galacticos keep moving steadfast towards more, if I should say.
Yeah.
Ipot the first in this time, and Masic right by him. The Duelist and Duelist elect the ones which kick down the door. This should be another save call for CGN.
I mean, you can already see Benny's thinking about it. So much time that Galacticos can chuck the spike around like a basketball. Who's the one that's going to slam dunk it and take the ultimate point? Destructive getting his ulti online. That's where the priority lies, and that is fair enough. Just a Guardian on Anguist. Don't think there's much in terms of an ability to get this one over the line. It would be a generational clutch if it was to be.
To have generational head trauma, some of that heat stroke that you're talking about, to even want to give it a go, I think. Left in the past. Glove, the only one gone. Masic, the player that had taken any damage. Benny, silent on the player camp. But I'm sure CGN already have an idea. 5v4, backside control CGN. Galacticos trying to fight into it, but losing players in the process.
The run it back has got so much back in their favour as well. They're even on the spike, and Benny's taking out Glove. Lozzy stuck on bench. The annihilation used perfectly. iPod with his own round changer.
The wingman goes in, the plant goes down. CGN playing spoiler, trying to keep themselves in good stead for the retake. Just give up the site immediately.
Oh, the judge just come straight out. Davi, that's crazy stuff. Benny though is the most dangerous here, as he still has the Phantom and has gained control of the spike. Straight away the Viper's pick comes in. Is it over the spike? It is, and iPod's in an awkward position. Destructive still have the molly, and I imagine there is a line up there. Yes, it does hit. iPod playing around the edges. Benny gone, still yet to go on the spike. Anguish dropping the pit, and now it's a 1v1 with time so low, and so is health. 3 to be exact. Destructive, he's dancing with it, and he's ended up winning the round because the ultimates in which they're invested that somehow Galacticos come out the better of every single time. And on the entry, it's the exact same. Players trying to get out the grab net, and it's just working against them. A failure after failure. Resistance is futile against against Galacticos as they have a full sight to themselves.
Half the numbers, Elements op warrants the save outright. Anguis wants to give it a go, you can see it in his eyes, but he's forced to give it up. Thrash recommitted, elbow recleared, nobody home. CGN have already been sent packing for the 6th round in a row. Galacticos picking up steam on this attack side, and that's worrying. We saw it a lot yesterday as well. Valiant on this map finding double digits inside the half. Earlier today even, KPI on their opener. For all the conversations we've had.
On the other hand, like Galacticos, they've had their fair share of woes, that's to be sure. No woes here, as that spike is denied, but that's about the size of it. Benny finds himself in a position, has it, behind enemy lines and showers, and that would have been great had he not just been found by Destructive. Anguis running about like a headless chicken.
Through lamps if they don't clear it. Whoa! Destructive going down, his gun's lost, and well, Glove's gone down as well. Element, what is that? Rifle in the hands of Anguis. Just about won the round.
Just about though. I mean, if there's anybody has it, I thought he's yet to show it. Caught in the grab net will actually aid him, but
Drone Benny for the info, or Element on the peak, Anguist as well. Now CGN are finding their groove again. Galacticos conditioned so heavily into their own style of play that CGN know exactly what to do. They've hit the nail on the head twice in a row. Destructive, feeling the full force of it, is now the one which must watch the time tick down at the top of his screen.
almost feels like
on A. The Nightfall only clears the first player backside. Pick comes in. Element up close. It's a no-scope. Lurzi is removed. And with it, CGN continue to move forwards. 2 players to the good now into this retake.
There's still an ultimate to come back in, and it's Element's dimensional drift.
Clears the space and takes showers for himself. There are fights being taken in the meantime, though, and they've lost every single one of them. Benny 2 back! He could have just been the hero here. And the other top fragging IGL is the only one that stands between him. He does stand his ground. The Thrash comes up, and it's another ultimate ability which will make the difference here, surely. Element past it, not detained. Double shot from the shorty barrel, but no time to save the day. CGN will...
Advantage on the site. Players have given themselves up entirely. Benny, he's not hitting the shot that he usually does. And Element has found himself behind, still caught out. Vince trying to do his best impression of resistance, but that's all it is, an impression. Davy H and Anguis, who have been good for it before, will not find anything just now. We're using the barrier mesh to almost create a foundation, but Davy H is not being found. The spike's being worked on, and that'll be a pistol round to Turkey as Galacticos find 9. Benny is just giving an absolute free one over to Galacticos, spike and even giving up the spike.
Flash out from Glove, punished by Anguis. It's a 3v3. This is looking worrying, Cairo. Gotta say it as it is. The spike's been recovered from beyond Destructive Zone smoke. Now Galacticos on a re-clear. A little bit of proactivity right down the center of the map, and they may just catch the coattails of a disengaging CGN.
Yeah, it's like a detective following the footpath, the breadcrumbs with their opponents.
Oh my god, the timing.
Off. That's crazy. Destructive's hesitant about players on site, but Anguis, he realises he's on the other side.
No.
Destructive and misses out the opportunity. The players have walked towards site, and Destructive drops his own smoke on Hookah, not allowing players to get up, but instead the CGN players has it. They take CT control.
Element already checked spawn, nobody there. If it wasn't going to be the flank, it would be Destructive. They combine both ends and bring them together to find 10. Galacticos only a few rounds away now from their own pick, because he's got a clear airport and he's going to miss the mark.
Yeah, He's gave a rifle back the other way, and as the players get so deep,
Two now.
Element just walking into smokes. That's not what you do. Smokes are a marking of your territory if you're one of the teams. It's looking flawless. Davi H having to try and get something back, doesn't want to tap the orb because then that would give away the position and players giving everything. Certainly not. Element found himself a little pocket to work in, baited for. Davi H has done well and oh my god, everybody caught off guard. Hello, fantastic stuff. CGN, they're going to probably find a round win after something like that.
There you go. That's the Dak machination.
He has the showstopper.
He certainly does, and they're running straight into it in the smallest part of the map. Hookah over the top, peek from Element, has to punish, and he will most importantly. Orbital strike in the TP! What's your Thrash gonna do when I cook it? Stick it on the pan and sit like a sea bream. 4-1, Masick the only one left. Brilliant reaction from CGN when things were looking tough there.
They have read everything to perfection. It's almost like the little kid sitting beside you all the way back in primary school, checking what work they're doing and not even changing a single bit of it. CGN, they still have plenty of tricks up their sleeve.
Another on the site defense will make matters worse. Vince only gets one on the backside swing. That's the cost of the spike as well. Sure, Davi with a trade, you're trading down the numbers into a situation where you're still at a disadvantage.
I mean, until that spike went down, the players were pinned to the B side because of Anguist's presence. But look at this, an escape. The pressure's been let off, and Davi H is still here.
He's got to do it all. The Dizzy in the corner might just be the death sentence. One for Davi means that it's still within Element's wheelhouse. No Yoru utility does make the clutch attempt that much more difficult. Has to be a clean first headshot, but knows where both players are coming from.
I mean, both need to be clear. One bullet is enough to send Element to the grave. This would be something out of this world.
The reveal. Catches him over the top. Needs the first, not giving it. And back behind the screen they go. Galacticos looking to pull curtains on the second map. Element trying to put the veil over their eyes. He goes through the screen and cannot survive. Galacticos, CGN, and what the second half could have in store. It's nothing more. Glove will make damn certain of it. The safest pair of hands. Vince with a bit of retaliation, but Destructive's using his own ult as a get out of jail free card and has managed to stamp Vince's, kicked his bucket. Benny 1 versus 3, but has no idea of Hipop's position.
Dedicate 2 players, but you're still thinking about A. I mean, I don't know if Galacticos are going to allow them to get there. It's certainly not allowing them to stay on the server. Globe has done so well to rout the players that were there. A nice reaction. Davi H with a chance.
Blow for blow before he can press the TP button. 4 on 3. Open C site for a plant if they choose to get there, or if they take it into their own hands, which they will, or the little yellow ones instead.
I mean, there is an outlaw, and players within touching distance of one bullet, that being Luzzy and iPod. Davi H needs headshots if he wants to get things over the line. Utility back in, and it's just iPod's body shot, so that's one less in which Anguist can capitalise upon. Hazard.
One of 3 players on the site fighting their ground, standing it more importantly. Anguist from this same corner we saw him ace from a couple of days ago. Can do nowhere near as much with the Sheriff, but he can gift an opportunity to Davi. makes his escape through the smoke. Defuse worked on. Misa snatch it late, takes the player who was on it, but Destructive should have enough time.
Outlaw up, waiting for someone to peek in. Element well within that 1 bullet range, and Anguist in fact can find himself within that margin as he looks to hold on to the smoke that was on A rubble. They'll push through, he will get taken, but not before getting one of his own. A clean shot from Benny and a rifle recovered. It's still 1 versus 3 though, Hazard.
3 players in front of Lurzi, standing between him and a 3rd round, but the Vandal should be saved. It's an open plant, one which he can see. Benny lets Wingman off the leash one last time to make damn sure that he won't be taking anything else here, and it was smart play.
Not much being caught here. In fact, Anguist with his back turned well, and that's the advantage in which Galacticos will use to try and manipulate the site to their own favour.
Oh, Benny, don't know if he's just spotted it, certainly saw where the smoke came from. Destructive nailed to the wall from which he emerged. Plenty more players to come out the woodwork, and it's from multiple different avenues. Glove is by himself, the 2 remainder of this Galacticos defense are in Waterfall and trying to bridge that gap. CGN backed up into the corner of the site themselves. Benny holding on for another, grinding down to the final 2 players on either side, and it's a 1v1 when the dust settles. Davi round to be any kind of difference maker, and Masic already has his first.
Still utility to use to get back in, Hazard. The players are lit up, not from bullets, more from sonar. Yep, the Headhunter, tour de force.
But it's the Rolling Thunder coming back through, which is most scary.
Well, already there, well, you see the ultimates coming back in. That's the counter we expected. That's why Glove was committed to the B site. And now the players head in. Spike's been denied. This is big. Time too low. That's it. Glove can sit there happy knowing that his team has won the round.
The line as much as he can. Wingman on the plant. Benny sticks the landing on both kills. Double up from the Phantom. The Vandal doesn't hit those.
Definitely doesn't. Destructive though. Just for a clutch, but no clutch attempt being taken. That's another round for CGN. Hazard back towards them having the advantage.
Saying that, it probably does. Little bit staggered. You could see what Glove and Lurzi were trying to do. From what I saw, it didn't look to be the most effective counter utility. CGN had so much still available to them on their execute because it was just the paint shells.
Oh, Davi.
Oh, here comes what? Anguist doesn't care. Shuts up Ipot, that's an ult gone. A 1-for-1, which is looking good until you hit Masic's side of the map. The CGN shift of focus heads towards the chamber player that we spoke so much about to change around by himself. Stuck under the tree, but has bought enough time for the rotation and found a kill with it.
Very, very clean so far, Hazard. A TP to beat out, and actually there you go, straight towards the other side of the map, leaving Davi H in a 1v1.
Can he win it? Elevated ground. Is able to take the kill, and now cast your minds all the way back to map 1. Spike planted on the other side of the map. Element playing catch up. Vince needs to live here, because if he goes down, Destructive's gotten past the first set of boxes. Anguist knew it. Right on the money. Satchel at his feet this time, and Ipot uses it to doctor the play and find the kill. Had just the antidote. Masic wants more. Still fighting, still holding on, but eventually goes dry. Davi isolated, could make for a 2v2 if he's not careful. Needs the support.
Needs someone to at least peek off him. Maybe he doesn't actually have it. Maybe he can just do it himself. It does actually catch iPod, but for the most part, it's one. If Glove doesn't check it, like CGN, they have a 2-player advantage.
It's crazy. It's another situation where Glove goes looking for something which he just can't find. To put him under the microscope again, as much impact as he has, when you compare it to Benny, there's always a player by his side. He goes down with the ship, does the captain of CGN. Not this time. The one setting the sails for another A plant. The 7th round is the course that we're headed for now, as Masic will be giving.
I mean, that's one to talk about later, as we are straight in towards a seaside take. In fact, I say seaside take, it's seaside take, and the players of Galacticos are pushed back in waterfall. Hazard, this Hunter's Fury could actually be really impactful.
It's not too often that you've seen CGN play for post. They've had player presence on site round on round. Round on round, leaving the rifles in their hands. Element with another 5-on-3. Galacticos might just be calling this quits. Ipot is rotating all the way around waterfall, and it's done. They don't want anything more to do with it. CGN have bagged themselves another. While the op may continue to claim lives, it bears no effect on the round result. CGN will be taking home an 8th. That might have just been enough to get them to the grand final. Hands of Father Time now, the ults are clear, but there's no one else there. Benny is doing his best, and it's more than enough. CGN, we spoke about 8, a 9th on the half could just have ended it. This element that you're up against, the recon missed, it didn't reveal. Davies has, and now they know. Anguis in the smoke comes back out to meet Masic, who's massacring on this site. 3 kills. An advantage for now, but it could be a meager one. Still a way back through, and with Benny's Dizzy and Wingman to get onto the spike that's not yet planted.
I mean, that's the thing, Hazard. We've seen the 2v3 and pistol before on Ascent. It was massive, and already it started with a bang. As Benny somehow found iPop. Lozzie's given the chances. Vince getting one of their own. Lozzie knows where Benny could be. In fact, he's double guessed himself, checking back sight, and he's got it cleared. Benny's allowed for a chance of Lozzie having an idea. Back, walking like a turret. Fight!
He's going to say airtight, but again, it's the plumber. He finds every gap possible. Just one. Another 2v3. Is this any more digestible than the last?
Nah, surely not. There's no way. Oh, there's a rifle though, and it gets a little bit worried. Already sees one player, and it is Benny. He's been playing so well, and in a 1v2, he has utility to work with. You don't doubt him here, right? A peek out! A player that gives no opportunities, and opportunities too destructive. Catches that BH off guard, and Element not quick on the mark. That's an advantage. So low. CGN into their retake now. Play it down, but not for long. Anguis to the rescue. Putting on the cape again. The super kid keeps on giving. Anguis finally put to rest by Lurzi. Another retake, a player down, but it's already off to a decent start. CGN, 2 of their own. Destructive with those 9 points of health will not stand to the task. 10 CGN. Element finishing what he had started. Maybe a little
would have peaked it, so it's a calculated risk, but one which could pay off. Masic has the opener though. They can follow this up brilliantly, Galacticos, with 2 more.
Yeah, and 1 away from the showstopper for Element. If he can get an opportunity to get that online, the orb probably going to go soon. And the spike's been down, Taza. 10 seconds, in fact, make it 3. They need to get the spike down, and Anguis is in perfect chance to deny the round, and he does it. Hides away, denies the round for C. Push Anguis into a potential place where you can take them, but they've not cleared them. And spot on is that Thrash. Trying to buy more delay with a nano swarm won't work out, and it's a bit cheeky trying to go for that Thrash Benny. At least Vince gets the trade back in their favour. Element still has that showstopper from last round, remember, while the spike goes down.
Well, look at the huge back on the retake, drone in, and like you say, Element hangs over their heads like the fear itself. The fear of death. The fuse is lit and he's ready to go. Lurzi peaks to his demise. He survives, but still, it's a 1v2 which he cannot win. Davi at the triple. 12 for CGN. They're one away from another grand final. Not having the best day. It's all gone CGN's way. Element getting one, but Galacticos coming through with three of their own. A 4-on-2. And a moment where we're brought back to reality. Anguished still defies it. Not this time. Ipot has him red. It's on Davi to see it out in round 18.
I mean, we've seen this before, has it? To make it into this spot here, CGN clutched up.
Revealing area.
Time's too low, I think.
I don't think he's going to be able to. You're just looking to deny some of these weapons getting out. You've got 3 players on 300 credits or there, so. Lerzy's taking a peek and he's lost his head to the Endeavor. Glove is the next one that goes past rubble. Davi will call it quits, but it's an expensive operation inviting players to challenge him head on. They'll win. Not able to get it off this plate this time.
Oh, no way.
But it goes back to Anguis, and he's the next to step up. His chance is yet to come. There's a grand final to be played, and he's ready for it. Vince with the first peak, Anguis with the second. He'll send them to the play-ins grand final. They may have fallen short in Cologne, but the